Visit Edo TV. Visit Edo TV.
Good evening, viewers. You are welcome to your program Visit Edo. Today we have a very big fish in the house. Okay, maybe he will do the in fact, he's a professor of all this great wealth in Benin, and when you call him in English, he is there for you. And when he call in Benin language, he's the professor, and he has done us proud. Meet Mosis. Unaya wowoka afiefwa Obakpolor domono wan.
Oba atokpe.
Ise.
Ituwaya donirowa kewenirisi. I greet our very highly esteemed viewers, especially those who have taken interest in Benin Kingdom. The name Visit Edo has become a sine qua non in the Edo Renaissance, and that's where we are here today. My name is Uhunaya Wawokan Afianfwa Obakpolor. I am from Uselu Negwayoba, Uselu Nugboro, Uselu no debate wefu no ekwemila ni nwa son baza yo ibie. We are a very traditional society, and I believe that we first belong to our culture, because if our culture does not exist, we cannot be citizens of the world. So on that note, I want to say thank you for hooking up to this program. It is a must watch, and this interview session is one of those things that will sit you down and keep you glued to your television. You will not regret staying with us. Today, we're going to talk about some pretty proto-history of Benin. The origin. How did Edo evolve? As a social contract, or by a mythical origin, or by evolution? Very many theories abound, and one is the first we know. Jacob Igarewa, in his short history of Benin, he traced the origin of Benin to Egypt, and by that we are bound to link to that school of thought, because civilization started in Egypt, and if Egypt is in Africa, it may presuppose that most of the people we have in Africa today migrated from Egypt. But that is not the case with Benin. Benin evolved with a spiritual, proclamation, and it was a mythical journey. Benin evolved by mythical proclamation by God himself, Osanogudua, Osanobuwa, Akpamakpaye Oriole. God sent his children to the earth, one of them the Benin man, and he gave them so many gifts, but the Benin man chose to carry the snail shell, which had sand in it. And just like the Bible theory of creation, the earth was submerged by water, and when they arrived, the Benin man simply poured the sand onto the waters, and land appeared. And that's why we say Oba Nyato Kiwa Yasewebu. Benin is the ancient city created by God. And when people argue about the existence of Benin, and they postdate it, Benin is a predated history. Benin evolved and lived even before Christ. When we talk about the theory of evolution, Professor Dr. Meriliki found the fossils of man earliest discovered around the Odovia Gorge near Lake Victoria. It shows that man started to live in Africa, whether it is Benin or elsewhere, but we know that man started to live in Africa. But let's leave all that. The recent history says that around the Nukbe civilization, there were some upheavals, and a group of people decided to migrate southwards, and their destination was a tropical rainforest. And when they came, they found a land, like described in the Bible, flowing with milk and honey. That was the land of Benin. And when they came, on the way, they had some negative forces, and their leader, Aka, died. Aka was buried, and they moved on, led by Idu. And when they found the plains of Ogboka, the plains of Ogbekun, and Utefautemehi, which we have today, they said this is the land. And by Ogbekun, Idu planted the staff of authority and proclamation of Idu land. And some skirmishes occurred. There were the Iwie Iwineka, which were the aborigines of the land, the forest dwellers. They were dwarfish, and of course they had some magical powers. They had a mythical mat which they put under their armpit, and unless you take the mat from them, you cannot seize their powers. So the Benin warriors, led by Idu, they were able to successfully remove the mat. But the Iwie Iwineka were very vigilant, agile soldiers, and they never sleep. That's why there's a song in Benin. Iwie Iwineka, oh, oh, idige wanae, oh, oh, idige wanada, oh, oh, Iwie Iwineka, oh, oh. Now, after the conquest of Iwie Iwineka, Idu planted the staff of authority at Ogbekun. That's why we say the first palace of the Idu kingdom was at Ogbekun. And the children of Aka, who started the journey, got angry, and they left. They went to the riverine areas. What happened is that Idu didn't bother. He left them, and they called them Ihobo. And that is the name we call Uobo today. Ihobo. But the Urobos also call the Benis Ihuaka. That means our brothers. Ihuaka. So the Benis and the Urobos are one. And Idu, in time, because of his very valiant, exploits in war, was able to reconquer all the lands around, and it started to spread. Benin became an emerging world force to reckon with. And of course, they started the Odionwe foundation of rulership. The system of administration was by gerontocracy. Gerontocracy is the rulership by the oldest. But they also discovered that that was not a good system, because they were having rulers every 2, 3, 4 years, some even 6 months, because the oldest would die anytime. Then, when it came to the time of Igodo, he removed the seat of authority from Ogbekun down to Iwioto, and he started the primogeniture, which is rulership from father to son. And I think that is what has been imbibed and has flown down the line for the Benin royal dynasty till date. Of course, we had the Ogisons, 31 of them. The last was Owodo, and then kicked off the Oba dynasty, started by Oromio Eweka I, down to the present Oba, who is Oba Ewai Nogidigan, Oba Nowodoawi Akpamuna, the extraordinary king of the extraordinary Benin people. I tell you, this city has existed for years and centuries, even before Christ. And that is why it was difficult for the punitive expedition of 1897 to close Benin. What we have today is the resilience of an African culture that has refused to die. That is Benin. Oba Atokwe.
He said.
Visit Edo TV.
I must say that we are privileged to have you today. And I know out there the viewers will be delighted to see you, hear your voice. And time to time, we are going to be hearing from you. Because you are an institution where people come to grab this knowledge from. So I want to say a very big thank you to my big brother, my senior brother.
All yours, my brother.
Thank you so much.
We like what you are doing, and kudos to you. Visit Edo is a renaissance. It's not just a shop. It is a revolution in Edo culture. Thank you so much.